Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Factorio. In the last episode, we worked on the design for our next construction project, which is going to be to produce solar panel 3s and radar Mark 5s. I believe is what we're going to be making for the satellites that we're going to have to make to put on the payloads of our rockets to get space science. So I worked on that design, started to prepare the loading areas for the inputs, and that's kind of where we left off. Now, I had kind of planned to, set up the trains, to bring in all the materials that we're going to need, and then set up on that construction. But in working on some of that and some other things that I was wanting to kind of do on this map, ran into a bit of a problem, and that has been copper. In our foundry here, and that has been causing problems with production of solder. What I tried to do, well, not only solder, but copper wire coils has been an issue, which has caused the entire which has caused our production system here for circuit boards to seize up and stop, which has completely drained our basic electronic boards for other processes. So we have none of those to use to make our solar panels, because we're going to need a bunch of those. And I don't think we're really making enough of those, actually, to really sustain what we need. So I think we're going to have to work on some of the existing infrastructure before we're going to be able to continue with that project. So that's probably what we're going to have to start working on now. And we're going to start, I think, with copper. We're going to need to ramp up the output of copper, because we're just not making enough of the stuff. So that is where we are at. And I've started working on some of this a little bit. I ran into a weird issue as well, where I had gotten somehow, I have no idea how this happened, ended up with some silver cathodes on the copper ore input belt that had clogged up all of these loaders. And we aren't making any silver cathodes anywhere in this entire facility. I have no production process anywhere on this map that makes silver cathodes. So I have absolutely no idea how that happened. Alright, well, I think the first place we're going to start here is we're going to need oxygen gas for the copper. I've started working on increasing the oxygen gas output by replacing these old Mark III chemical plants with these chemical plant 4s. Excuse me. And adding in the speed modules to the air filters. So we should have plenty of compressed air. And I'm working on replacing these, which I'll just go ahead and do here real quick. And then fill them in with modules. And I don't think we're clearing that nitrogen gas fast enough. Which is odd, because we really should be. Oh well. Oh. What is this? I guess for some reason in these I can't auto-fill those. That's odd. Alright, well, I'll throw some... Maybe this piping just can't handle the load. Well, let's replace it then. Oh, this little bit right here as well. There you go. It's a little better, and you know we're producing pretty effectively there, so we should be all right. Well, actually, let's replace. Replace all of this piping. I think this is the pipe that feeds the oxygen into the copper production. Yes. Okay. That's kind of our first start. Next is I need to figure out if there is a better way to make copper. Because we've done a lot of research since we built this thing. And, if we can at least replace all these with better equipment. Another thing I did off screen a bit is down here make an entirely new sulfuric acid production system. And then set up a train to route that into the foundry here. So I should have all the sulfuric acid I'm going to need. So that is not a problem anymore. Alright, so let's see. Is there any new way to make molten copper? Which is really what I need. I need molten copper. Copper ingots. No. It looks like that this is pretty much the same method. Anodes, these guys. Alright, so this process is the same. We're just going to need to redesign it a little bit. So what I'm going to need is I want to be able to process, since I have two of these, right? Two of these ultimate belts. I can handle how much? It's 66. So talking 120, 132 ingots per second. $120 per second would be best. Alright, so what's the ratios on these things? Times. So let's say I wanted to make 1,200. 1,200. It would help if I typed the right numbers. 1,200 per second. $120 per second. Do I just need to throw, like, modules in here? Would that be what I need to do? And it would handle 60 per second copper ore, which I can feed. Alright. Now, how many do I actually have? I have 4, 8, 16... 22 of those. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of these. Induction furnace Mark IIIs. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 blast furnace Mark IVs. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nine of those, and I say I need 10. Alright, well, since this is basically the same process, what I just need is, most likely, to upgrade these guys to Mark IVs, or just throw some modules in here. Let's see. Okay, so that's working. So yeah, do everything you were doing, but faster. Okay, so we're consuming all of that. We've got solid ingots coming in. Good. We should have ingots going out there. See, the thing is, the ingots aren't going to go out there. I actually need to make more ingots than this. Okay. This is eating 60 ore per second, which I am not actually making. I think we only make... Actually, I'm not sure how much ore I make per second. I think like 40. But that's actually solvable, because I am getting this system up here up and running. Right, so I'm going to have a source of copper ore here that I can start pushing into that system soon. I'm not making a ton of the copper ore just yet. But it's there. So what I actually want to do is I want to scale this. Let's see, if I said that these are induction furnace 3s with speed modules. I only need 5 of them. And let's say I wanted to scale this down to 1,000 per second. So we have 20 per second going the other way. Four of them. Okay. Alright, just pick all that up. And then throw the rest of those ingots in there. And why are we not getting everything here? Because I can't actually unload them. That's why. Because I can't actually unload them. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So, if I were to route that around there. I can unload them there. We're probably going to have similar problems over here, where some of these are just not going to be able to unload as fast as they otherwise could. Alright, again, you know, that's fine. We'll figure it out. Same method. Route that around there. Let them each have their own feed. And probably these inserters are not necessarily fast enough. Okay, actually what I probably want to do is route that into there. Probably create a balancing system here. As long as some of the ingots are being sent in that direction, that's good. I still think we're just not getting enough materials through, which is weird. We absolutely should be. Well, maybe not. What I should probably do is adjust this a little bit. What I should probably do is bring that down there. And then put a little bit of a balancer on there. Just to make sure that things are evened out. Because we aren't producing out of here anymore. And we're overproducing down here. So this is not an even production anymore. What's the rate at which we would be producing these things? $120 per second. Yep. We probably also need to balance it a little bit higher in here. Just to make sure that everybody's running at full flow. Yeah, I think we're starting to drain those out. This one's having some trouble draining out, but that's okay because that'll let things flow up to there. Why is... Sometimes these loaders drive me nuts. There we go. That helped drain that out. Okay. It seems like it's working. Though this is kind of overbuilt now, but that's okay. As long as this is running faster and we're getting more of these wire coils, that's kind of what matters here. And then we're also producing solder. That's another thing I need to make sure that is working. Where is the solder output? It's down here somewhere. There we go. And we do have solder in production. And a pretty decent amount, too. Good. Good. So we're getting enough ingots down here for the solder production. Okay. So that should hopefully be that. And I think we'll probably end this episode here. I'm going to be continuing to work on things off screen to try to get that other ore purification process up and running. And get all of that stuff pushed in here. And then we're either going to have to revisit this or build a new one of these. Or try to improve this in some way here soon. Like what I might need to do is once I get more ore coming in here, then I might need to run a second line of copper ore. Up here. I'm not sure where I'm going to find a spot for it, but run a second line of copper ore up here and bring that over so that we can feed into more of these and get more of this running, and then see if that helps. So I think that's probably what needs to happen next is just feeding more ore into the whole system, and then see how that goes. Alright, so then we can do like lots more ingot inputs, and yeah, it should. I probably will have to rework this whole process of making the ingots as well. So That'll be interesting. All right, well, we'll stop here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.